We deal a lot with AAA titles on this channel. You know what? Sometimes it's actually best to stray from the well-known path and onto more independent circuits. So drop your yearly releases, cancel your pre-orders and season passes, and let's strap on some plaid and twirl our mustaches, because today we're going to take a look at some titles made by smaller studios which rocked the masses. With this in mind, I'm Jules for WhatCulture.com, and these are the 10 best indie games of the decade so far. But wait! Before we start, let's just have a little heart-to-heart. There are many, too many indie games of godly stature to fit on this list, so I may or may not have included your own personal indie darling. So keep your eyes peeled and your dirty ears to the ground. But for now, on with the list. Number 10, Papers, Please. Ooh boy, do I love me some depressing Cold War era vibed games. Now admittedly, there's only a few games in that genre, but let me tell you, there is only one Papers, Please. The game's unique hook is not actually its gameplay, at least not mechanically. Instead, it's in the moral questioning of your own being as you process the line of people trying to enter the fictional country Arstotzka. Your actions will see loved ones divided, illegal goods exported, and even a few death threats, and it all reeks of tension. It's survival of the self versus that of the majority, and it is a bleak joy to play. Number 9, Minecraft. I'm just gonna drop this one here. We all knew it would be on this list, so let's just get it out of the way early doors. Can you even describe any other success story like Minecraft? It's an absolute monster, and since its purchase by Microsoft can no longer be deemed independent, but its rise to this point is phenomenal. We've all played it, we all know what it's about, and while a good deal of people dislike the game, you can't deny its permeation of nearly every medium and merchandise. So put your blocky stubs together for the big boy that is Minecraft. Number 8, Fez. Right. We all know how crazy Phil Fish is and of his big Twitter meltdown, but this does not in any way take away from how insanely good his one-man band project Fez was. From charm to challenge, Fez will barnstorm your heart and sit there for months. The mechanic of being able to rotate the world and change your surroundings could have been super gimmicky, but it just works so well here that it could actually be described as organic movement. It's a massive head trip and will leave you with some truly brain-busting moments, but it is more than worth it. Number 7, The Banner Saga. The Banner, I love this game. Ooh. Sorry, that just kind of slipped out. I'll do that one again. The Banner Saga, I love this game! Oh, sorry about that. I'll just do this one more time. I love this game! The characters, the beautiful art style, the fact that the devs researched instruments and remade models not used in hundreds of years to get the sound right, the combat, the pacing, the choices, the leveling up, the sheer f***ing despair when characters die, the fact that there's a sequel you need to play right now! Oh, sorry about that. But yeah, the Banner Saga is pretty good. Number 6, Pyre. Now, I know it's controversial to put a game that's only been out for a hot minute on a list that's the best of a decade, but let me spit some hot liquid pyre your way. So, Supergiant Games are well known for not putting out duds. With Bastion and Transistor under their belts, they've shown their hand for creating beautiful worlds, rich narratives, and gameplay that takes what should be and somehow transcends it. And Pyre is no different. Taking RPG elements, emotional storytelling, a fantastic art style, and mixing them together with sports sounds, on paper, like a terrible combination. But it doesn't just work. It provides some of the most enthralling moments I've had in gaming for a while. The better you do at the sporting events, the more the game changes, with top players winning their freedom and forcing you to change your lineup. I really do want to go on more about this game, but the best thing for me to say is, play this now. Number 5, Journey. Well, this is just lovely, isn't it? An art style that just weeps with beauty coupled with gameplay which is Adam Blompier levels of simple but grows into Adam Blompier's mum levels of depth. It's the closest thing that gaming has come to being spiritual, that through zero dialogue or motivation you ascend to the heavens, meeting other players along the way, not as foes or in ways that affects the gameplay, but as fellow travelers on this emotional journey. Oh my god, guys, that's the name of the game! Unparalleled in its simplicity, but that just makes it all the more raw. Lovely stuff. Number 4, Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight has dominated pretty much every single system on the market today, and it is easy to see why. It's a callback to platformers of old and is utterly refreshing, and it controls like a buttered-up Christina Hendricks in that it's an absolute dream. Through a slew of awesome bosses that'll challenge your reflexes to the point of nerve damage to a bunch of items you can take on your travels to do things like fish and throw fireballs, it's Shovel Knight's sense of humor and worthwhile dedication from Yacht Club themselves that makes this something you can tell as already being regarded as an absolute classic. Number 3, Hotline Miami. Hyper-violence, mask-wearing, acid trip colour scheme, obtuse plot with a rewarding payoff. Hotline Miami is my type of game. I remember loading this up for the first time and completing it in one sitting. I then remember going to bed and having a good old long think about video game violence and the aspect of gratification. For a game to go beyond just muscle reaction and to haunt my thought for days and weeks after playing it is pretty rare for me, but Hotline Miami had found its mark and gone to town on it with an ice pick. Now, it might not seem it at first, but Hotline Miami is an important game. Not only is it beautifully crafted, balancing arcade-style gameplay with an abusive aesthetic, but it put Digital Devolver on the map. Up until this point, they had only worked on Serious Sam games, and this gave them the chance to shake things up. And when you consider where they are now, we have a lot to thank Hotline Miami for. Number 2, Rocket League. Now, I'm just going to say this, I'm shit at this game. Now, hands down, I spend more time whiffing balls than a stinky fish in a testicle factory covered in feces. But gosh dang dangarang, am I a fan of this car racing football arcade festival for the senses. This game is liquid smooth and combines short round times with an interesting and well-implemented premise. Clearly, it's one that's captured the hearts and the minds of millions, as Rocket League is now available on multiple consoles and is packed to the brim with extra content. There's nothing quite like playing through matches with and against friends, and it brings back a sense of that good old couch co-op gaming of old. It's a monster as it stands now, but in 2015 no one could have expected this to top both sales and gaming events the world over. And number 1, Super Meat Boy. Ooh, God, this game hurt me harder than my first breakup. I still remember it like it was yesterday. The blood, the screaming, the constant smashing of meat. And playing Super Meat Boy is pretty tough as well. Ho ho ho! Hey, puns, I've got them. This game really separates the boys from the men and the men from their spines. It's a fantastic title and a near-perfect example of how to push players to their limits with intricate level designs. SMB also has the record for the rarest completion stat in gaming history, with only 0.8 of players actually making it through to the end. And when you consider the levels all finish with a montage of your previous deaths, you can tell that Team Meat hoped and planned for such a thing from the very beginning.